things happen all the time. And what I had to learn is when things happen, you have to be patient. Now, God is good every day. So patience is easy if you believe in God. But if you have some superficial type of other way of doing things, that's your choice. So I can't explain to you what I would do because that's not your choice. And I wouldn't want your choice to be colluded with somebody else's opinion. But I use that as my start of my day, as a good part of my day. Things go wrong, keep God first. But the good in people is important. I say that because everybody don't see the good in people. I do. And we gotta make good at something. I mean, we could go and harp on all the bad we want. Damn, I got cancer, I'm gonna die. But then I could be like, you know what, I'm gonna beat this cancer and I'm gonna live my best life. That could be an option too. So you can't just sit there and your whole day is based upon negativity because negativity will outweigh the positive. So you always gotta look at the good. And there's so much good to look at. It could be something stupid as seeing somebody doing something and remembering that they do other things, like LL Cool J. I guarantee you on my soul. Yeah, he may not be supporting the strike, but they already took care of the deal. So how you know behind the closed doors, behind the support for the strike, how you know he didn't have something to do with the soup kitchens or so when you see something as the media, because the media didn't put anything in words, they used a bunch of clip art and said LL Cool J will decline the offer to support the sanitation workers at their 4th of July event. All right, cool. But he didn't say nothing more than that. They took 12 pictures and looped them of all his gestures and how cool he is and how spontaneous his energy is. But not one time did they get a word, a sound bite. They got the image of the man and saying in post in the caption, he won't be able to support. How you know he's not supporting another way? That's why you don't have anything to say about it. How you know he's not talking to the mayor directly? So instead of you being like, oh, the media said this about LL Cool J, be like, I bet LL Cool J do a lot for his neighborhood. And that's why you gotta say. The media has now turned into demagogue in everything that you see in the negative narrative. Me, there will always be some gloomy, doomy, negative shit going on. But if you have a positive outlook, you're gonna leave that situation with your head on your shoulders. Now, they might not be entertained because the plan didn't go as they always try to devise it. Always a saboteur in the middle of a plan. So just know that, okay, I knew somebody was going to flake out. I knew somebody was going to bail out. How am I going to achieve this objective? You're still going to have an objective. You're still going to have to think, how am I going to move forward with this situation? Regardless, if not everybody's not on board. Even though you on board to do everything, anything, and all this, it doesn't matter. You still got to have enough patience and understanding that everybody's not on board. And you got to have a plan. As long as you have a plan, people will take you serious. It doesn't matter if everybody else don't understand your plan. If they know, oh, he's doing this because his son, he's doing this because of his mother, he's doing this because of his wife or kids or car or boat or whatever you tell them honestly, not just out of emotional desperate. Oh, I just need someone to give me. I don't need you to give me shit. Understanding as a man, yeah, I'm not climbing Mount. Cousin do it though, respect. I'm not working out all day long. Cousin do, respect. I had that option to do it. I was hanging out with my cousin every day. My cousin's all you talked about doing. So all my cousin talked about living. I could be with my cousin right now doing the same thing my cousin. Me and my cousin is inseparable. Everybody went a different path. So, everybody can tell a story about how fun it could be. I want to be around my family. Just like he wants to do his worldly thing. But my cuz know, at a drop of a hat, I will be there. And that's all you gotta feel about your family. You gotta love your family. You only got one family. So the more you do and help for your family, the more you see is reliable for the family. And it goes vice versa for anything else. You call a job, they're like, hey man, I can't put myself in this position today. Can I do this? Matter of fact, do this instead. And it works out in your advantage. So you just gotta communicate with people. And color is not the only way out of an excuse. You can blame color every day of the week. No, you can't. You can always blame the color of somebody's skin. You can always say the color of this person's skin made them make this decision. You can always say that. But people tend not to work together. So a lot of times when people don't work together or have any type of exposure to each other, they have a misconception. The more you work with one another and get to learn each other's ways they talk and figures of speech and gestures and all that stuff that goes along with it, you learn that a lot of times everything that people perceive about another person probably ain't true. Like I said, you gotta try before you fail. So anybody that's telling you every day, shut up, be quiet, nobody want to hear that, nobody cares about that, I just said you gotta try. If you don't try, it doesn't matter what people say. How bad do you want it? See, there's where the rubber meets the road, right there. That's when the shit talking people, those type of people, they can't keep up because it's good to energize a base of people to say he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's good to try to get somebody to believe that this person's doing it for clout. All that is a good shield from reality. Once you fuck around and find out there's people out there with straight drive, like the impeccable part of life, not the drive you think like I'll drive you down the street. Yeah, no. That's not the type of drive I'm talking about. I'm talking about the type of drive when you look at your father in the hospital bed and the last time you see him talking was 2 days ago, and now he's taking his last breath and the machine cuts off. And all you can remember is the things he told you before he passed away 2 days prior of him passing away. Or it could be the time you seen your homie the day before and then that night you was with him and the day you woke up he's dead. You got drive to make sure that you see tomorrow again. So don't let nobody tell you that you doing something because you want fame. You want something because you mad or envious or you a hater. There's too much good in this world to try to level your life up to what people don't even know what you've been through, because they shit just probably just as bad or just as despicable. So there ain't no way you saying, well, I'm gonna take my green gold sticker and compete with your blue and black sticker and let's see who went through the most shit. It's not gonna make sense. And then if you is willing to do that, you self-snitching, because some of the shit is self-inflicted. So you can't do bad and expect good to come your way. So you can't compete with people who already lived their life. You ain't lived yours yet. So there's no way of saying this motherfucker ain't never did this, motherfucker ain't never did that, because most people live by a different type of creed, code, and work ethic. So ain't nobody willing to jeopardize their integrity and be on Facebook for 17 years and show their marriage, their kids, their wives, their dog, their working fitness program, their eating habits. And nobody got social media life to do. So now people are leveling up, trying to gauge people by what they witnessed on social media, what they sell on social media. Man, a lot of people been more places than what people hit like buttons to. So there's no way for you to explain that to anybody. God's put you in position to do great things. So you can't just keep living your life trying to compete with social media's like button. That like button gonna get motherfuckers left in the dark, because you don't understand that if you get to a certain age, a like button is irrelevant. How many people like you? Oh, so you knew 900 people for 60 years on the internet, but how many people you made a connection with? How many people were able to let you know the annual enrollment's coming up and they can determine to you what the, it's just a little bit of everything in that. But people wake up and not thankful enough to realize that they trying to compete against the same friends and the same ideas and the same process as everybody else is waking up going through. So you going through something, the next person's going through something, and we're all living in this world together. So imagine you talking about leveling up or putting somebody else down, but you live in the same trap as everybody else. Yeah, your trap could be Idaho, your trap could be Wyoming, your trap could be South Dakota, but you still in the 50 states going through the same process as everybody else, and you're trapped in this 50 states. So we can compare apples to oranges all day. We can delegitimize people. We can take a scale to everything and weigh it. We can do all that. But it doesn't change how the world really works when it's your turn to succeed. Pass or fail, it's all up to you. You take a driving test to get your CDL, you're going to have to know all the questions. I'm not going to ask you all the questions, but you got to know at least 100 of the questions out of the 200. So if you don't know 200 questions, you ain't gonna pass the test, because you gotta know at least 200 to pass a 100-point quiz test. And they're really, oh, it's different now. I had 2 truck drivers the other day, because they so young. I said, and they're close to my age, just cracked me up. I said, U.S. Express have clutches in their automatic transmission. They said automatic transmissions don't have clutches. I'm looking at them like, every vehicle has a weight distribution. How do you talk? First off, if a vehicle was created with a clutch, what makes it not accessible to have a clutch anymore? Because you call it automatic. So instantly, you talking to 2 people. The one person said he drink moonshine, and the other person said they work with horses. All right, cool. So I'm not gonna look at them and say this is a hillbilly, ignorant, moonshine drinking. No, I'm looking at them like, oh, cool, they different. Let's talk. I'm like, yeah, U.S. Express had transmissions with clutches in them. I don't know about that. I'm 43. How old are you? I'm 32. I'm 35. Okay. I'm 43. How long you been driving? I just started in January. How long you been driving? Oh, this is my first day. Okay. I never heard of no vehicles that had clutches in the transmissions. Cool. Nothing more, nothing less. They just said they never heard. Nobody got into, they country, they racist. Now don't get me wrong. When I said what I said and they didn't understand what I meant, maybe they felt some type of ideology. Maybe they felt some type of feeling. But I can't tell you all because I told them that something that they didn't know, that they were less people. But a lot of times you get around people and you try to tell them things and they be like, he think he know what he's talking about. And that's the problem. And then they gauge your whole life from that moment right there. They go describing and dictating and depicting and all this shit to describe you. And all you said was one thing. That's it. That was true. But if you're not in that field of interest, if you don't work in that dynamic environment, you're not going to have any interest in knowing that there's multiple versions of the Eaton Fuller automatic transmission. So that's how that works when people are judging you because they have the lack of knowledge and experience. But you don't lose your filter and try to hurry up and switch up and try to put on a facade. Oh yeah, I know everything. No, I don't know everything. I could be wrong. That was my answer when they said I've never heard of a transmission having a clutch on it when it's automatic. All right, I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe that was so long ago. You try to marginalize the debate because some of the debate is meaningless. What are you debating for? You're arguing with somebody about what? I'm not arguing about nothing. So at the end of the day, people take your enthusiasm and your straightforwardness as this nigga's trying to debate, as this nigga's trying to tell me something. I ain't doing shit, but doing what I do best. That's how you have to roll. You can't worry about what people try to dictate to you, baby boy. And that's all I care about is my son. So, you don't push strollers when you're a dad. You walk and raise and talk as a man. You try to make sure your children get the guidance that they need, because you could be here today and gone tomorrow. You can have a massive aneurysm, a heart attack. There's all other things you can die from except a bullet. But they's marketing poison. So when you marketing a poison pill, there's always a kryptonite inside there that Superman can't always compete with. So that's why they use that in theory. But when you're a super dad and you're a super good person, you just got to keep doing your super good deeds, because super good things come to those who do super good things, and that's just super. Don't get disappointed that you're not driving a 2027 Maserati. Right now, I'm driving a truck, Yukon. Beautiful, digital, brand new car smell. I don't know. I just soak in the moment. I'm about to be a maintenance man. I'm about to take out trash and climbing holes and going sewage and all this other shit. But right now, I'm sitting in a nice vehicle, enjoying the fruits of my labor, the benefits of being a chauffeur, what I've worked my ass off to become, And that's nothing no one can take away from you, just because it doesn't talk in their frequency. It doesn't operate in their language. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. Somebody loves your service. Like last night, I met so many cool people. So many people that appreciated the service you provide. At first, I tell you like this. The people who don't appreciate a good service always try to get over and talk crazy. This service don't work for you. The people that have kids trying to go to Europe, they got to take a 20-hour flight. It's the last time they're going to see their kids for 3 weeks. They need a service like me. So there's a difference in what people are saying. I always emphasize this, and why I know that I'm talking different and I was raised different to be able to talk different. This is a incidental business. And you could be as strong as a bull. You could be as tough as Kevlar. You could be as ignorant as you want to be. But in a service like this, it's provided a excellente. It's a premium. It's like going to Morton's. It's not like going to Eaton Park. It's not like going to McDonald's, where they say, hey, you can get a McDonald's sandwich, a large fry, and a drink. And they call it a value meal. And that's what people look for, a value. So that benefits them when they go to McDonald's. They get a value because they go get a sandwich, a drink, and a side for a set price. And sometimes they add a treat. They give you a little bonus. They give you some little token of appreciation, etc. The reason I'm saying it like that is because in this industry that I have been doing for over 20 years, this is like going to Chris Roof. This is like going to Morton's. You go to the airport and pay $300 for parking because you went somewhere for a week and a half. Or you could pay $90 to $120 and somebody will pick you up, provide you professional, excellent service. And also on top of that, be able to move around in the city and say, hey, that's a road construction. Let me give you this detour. So in the future, I've lived here all my life. Oh my God, I didn't even know this road existed. You're able to provide a clean car without the odors and all. This is a professional service. It's like going to Morton's. When you go inside Morton's, you end up having an issue with people not understanding this is a la carte. So you try to order a ribeye steak. Well, here we always something. Always something. So now, like I said, everything changes. I was just on the phone with you thinking that today I'll be in the Suburban picking customers up. No. Now plans have changed. Now I have to get to the National Aviary and I have to work with customers at the Bird Museum. So now I have to deliver on getting this vehicle swapped out after I work an 8-hour day at my other job. And this is why I say things change all the time. There's no way in the hell you gonna tell me if you're good at what you do that you can't be versatile. I mean, I have nothing better to say about Donald Trump. I have a keen sense of he's very versatile. Maybe that's what it is. And when you're very versatile, you like having a bunch of shit in your way. It's just what it is. So I can't knock the man for being advantageous. I can't. You can't knock somebody who's 80 something years old and got more energy than a 14, 16, a 20-year-old. This man talked longer than some of these kids nowadays. He got more to talk about than some of these kids nowadays. He can communicate better than some of these kids. And kids grew up communicating. How you think kids wanted to be what their daddies wanted to be? They had to ask their daddies and uncles. You know, and I get it. The world changed. They don't sell the same shit no more. You don't get the same bang for your dollar no more. So I get it. But you can't take away from somebody's greatness. You can't. Some of the things that people say is terrible. Some of the things that people say they don't agree with. A lot of us don't agree with it. A lot of us think it's a bad idea. But I will go along with something that the narrative that a lot of people don't want to face. You got to face the reality that you're giving away our tax-paying dollars to a whole different type of bullshit that at the end of the day, it won't be solvent. It'll dissolve. It'll be a system wrecked by a bunch of irresponsible decision makers. So at the end of the day, it doesn't make it easier for anybody. So I was y'all. I'd be thankful and learn a little bit about your business that you do. At least a half, a smidget. You might be in a business that with this administration, it could help you. Now, don't get me wrong. Social services, I kept telling you motherfuckers, hire me, talk to me so I can educate you on educating your people. But y'all have this narrative that you looking for those, it's not even on the application no more. You can only be man or female. So that diversity thing is dead. You're going to have to face the reality that it's a merit-based system. And people can get upset and want and say that's some ignorant shit I said. But I don't care, because at the end of the day, you can't change what people won't do. And that's listen. Go vote. Not saying go vote like it depend on it. But at least, just like you want to argue with a stranger, argue with these motherfuckers so they don't fuck shit up. Damn, you want to argue about everything else. When the shoe come out, when the outfit come out, when a pair of drawers come out. You don't want to argue. You want health insurance? The fuck are we talking about? Argue about every goddamn thing.